Hello and welcome to this Managed Methods video. Today we're going to talk about the Summary tab. The Summary tab provides a high-level jumping off point into the Managed Methods platform and will provide a landing page for you to look at some of the various things that have been going on within the domain. In the top right-hand corner, you're going to see a filter button, and you'll see that there's a default filter that's set to 1 week. You can change this as you choose. There's an option since your last login or all the way out to 3 months, just depending on what kind of information you want to take a look at. Many of these various tiles here will also have adjustments that can be made as well too. So you'll see there's options much like what you saw in there in the initial filter by. Looking at the very first section here, this is discovered risk, and when it defaults to a week like this, you'll see here it's going to give you some information and some trends here on what's been going on within the risk side of things. So risks within the Managed Methods platform is anything that you want to go out and look for. So that would include drive files, emails, email attachments, shared drive files as well too. It also includes Google Classroom announcements, and here you'll see some of the various risks that have gotten flagged and their types there. And if you hover over any of these, you'll see a breakdown of what kinds of risks got flagged on that specific date there. This is clickable, and if you click into this, this will take you over directly to the risks tab here, but this provides a nice way to go ahead and start diving into those risks initially, get an idea of what's been going on the various days here within the environment. To the right of that, you're going to see a section here for file activity. So this will have two different things here, letting you know, hey, are there created files and are there modified files? If you hover over it, you'll see some of the various changes there. So you can see when activity is picked up or has been fairly quiet here as well too. On the email activity, you'll see a similar situation here. So you'll see incoming, outgoing within domain, and then emails that have also been flagged as phishing. Again, this defaults to a week time frame there. And if you hover over it, you can see the various changes as they occur here within the environment. Below the discovered risks here is policy violation. This is going to go ahead and keep a record of the various policy violations that have occurred in the week. So this number here is the total number of violations within that week time frame. And then you can dive into each of the individual ones to see when there's been spikes or changes. And policy violations are the violations of any policies that have been set, whether that would be login activity or users logging in from outside the US that shouldn't be, or various risks that have been flagged, or potentially even situations around third-party applications. It could be any of those, so this will just be kind of the overall violations that have been occurring within the environment here. Next, that is going to be the malware side of things here, again looking at a week time frame there. In this case, very quiet here, no malware here has been detected, but of course if you want to go back further, you could take a look and see what's going on there. App usage here is going to give a breakdown of applications by their risk score. So this is a risk score that's generated based on 4 factors. It's going to be based on admin level access, has the application been sanctioned or not, what's the overall sanction percentage from the Managed Methods user base as a whole, and then does the application have any write permissions. So that'll break down from critical all the way down to low. Something that certainly be good to dive into and take a look at directly, especially those critical risk apps, which are going to have a much more powerful permissions into the environment there, and definitely something you want to keep a close eye on. Next, that is going to be the total storage here. So you'll see a breakdown of where storage is being used. So Drive, Gmail, Google Photos, and then also this other section as well here too. So this can give you a good idea of where people are storing things and how much storage is being used in some of those core Google services here. And then at the bottom here, you're going to see the geolocation login map. So by default here, you'll see these various green pins within the US. So by default, the United States is going to be an approved country and the rest of the world will be considered unapproved. You'll see those yellow pins here outside the US here, indicating that those logins were from an unapproved country. There is then the ability to apply various filters on top of this map. By default, the map is going to show all the various login events here, but you can see you can quickly filter through those various event types. There's also a button here for the login analyzer, so you can directly dive into that login information in more detail here. Though any of the pins here on the map are clickable themselves, and you can go ahead and dive into those directly here to take a look at what's going on with that login activity directly there. You can then, of course, adjust the time frame here as well too. And then to the right of that, you'll see the number of suspicious logins in the week, the number of unapproved logins within the week here, and then the users that have the most login events associated with their accounts. So just some additional ways you can dive into that information and see what's going on. Quickly take a look at what's been going on with those suspicious accounts and gives you some good idea of some of the trends and changes here that have been happening within the environment. So that will be the summary tab there. There are then also ways to run reports. So that will pull this information that you're seeing here, and those reports can also be scheduled to be sent daily, weekly, or monthly as well too. So it can be helpful if you do want to get that kind of overall report on the platform as a whole there. Thanks so much for watching this Managed Methods video. I hope this was informative and gave you a better look at the Summary tab. Thanks so much for watching.